Welcome to La Maison Wellness. We've got a guest today and I'm super excited to introduce you to Annie Clarke. Welcome.
Thank you for having me.
So Annie is an amazing yoga teacher. She recently launched the Practice, which if you want to practice at home, you should definitely check out this platform. Tell us more about it.
So this is my new online studio and I'm really excited to have finally put it out there. It's something that I've wanted to do for a really long time, and the idea was just to overcome some of the main barriers that I think were coming up for a lot of people when it comes to creating regular yoga practice. So those being kind of time, money and geography. So
Absolutely.
It's expensive to go to regular classes, and to find a teacher who's living nearby, close by, that you resonate with, and fitting it into your schedule can be really challenging. And so I wanted to give people a way to practice more consistently and with intention. So I used to share a lot like you do on YouTube, and it's such a great resource for people. But I found that people were coming to classes or coming to do their practice and they sort of were really standalone, and I wanted to take people through more of a kind of curated journey and put more intention behind it.
That's amazing.
And so the Practice was born.
That's so right. And I think as like an international yoga teacher, you meet so many people and you host retreat everywhere, and it's great to have like a platform where people can connect with you and like practice with you throughout the year at any time. And I think that like sometimes it can be a bit difficult to go to a yoga studio or to like wave that into your everyday practice, and like with a content that is created like yours, then you can kind of like wake up in the morning and go and be like, I'm going to do my short practice. And self-practice is amazing, but sometimes it's a bit difficult to do it at home. If you don't really know what you're doing, how you do, and like, I mean, we all know how to move, but you have a little bit of guidance that's sometimes very helpful.
Yeah,
so
definitely.
For sure, check it out, the Practice. Today we're here to talk about mindful drinking. For me, mindfulness is really something that like you wave into every aspect of your life, and that includes how you drink and what is your drinking habits. I think that like very often when we talk about mindfulness, when we talk about wellness, we understand the physical, you know, the physical well-being, but then it's Friday night, we just go to the bar, you know. And I think that like with La Maison Wellness, what I'm trying to do is to show that you can create delicious, mindful cocktails that are an experience that are delicious and exciting without especially having the impact of alcohol on your body and your minds.
And I think that's I love it so much, because one of the things, I used to be a big drinker and I partied a lot. I ran club nights in my previous life.
You won't find that on the Practice.
But one of the things that I really missed out on when I actually stopped drinking completely for about 18 months, and now drink in a much more mindful way and much more moderated. But there was a period in that where you lose the excitement of, you know, the flavors and the social element that comes not from just spending time with your friends, but enjoying things together. Yeah. And so, I was lucky enough to come to a workshop of yours a little while ago, and it put so much excitement back into, you know, that curation of flavors and conversations and things, which is
and feeling
such a
like
big
you
part
belong.
of it. Yeah.
I think for me, it's about being a mindful drinker isn't about drinking alcohol or not. It's about having the awareness and asking yourself the question on what does work for you? What is your balance? What do you need right now? And what can be a celebration that is celebrating who you are. And I think that sometimes in society we often go out and we end up saying yes to that glass of wine or gin and tonic just because that's what we do when we go out, or just because that's what everyone else is doing. Yeah. And I think that like hopefully with those recipes you can find that like there's things that can be as delicious and exciting, and really the ritual of the cocktail and the experience and the feeling like you belong and you can socialize without having alcohol if you don't want to. And I think that like it's about reshaping the conversation on why does alcohol has to be part of the equation every single time? Yeah. And it doesn't. That's the answer, which is great. Yeah. When we were chatting, you were like, I used to love mojitos. So I was like, okay, it's a bit grey outside in London today, but we're going to pretend that it's beautiful and sunny, and regardless, it will be sunshine in the glass. Yes, so that's definitely what we need living in this country. But so I kind of gather all the flavor that you told me that you love, which was a very, very refreshing mojito. So it's really inspired by this classic cocktail. And again, when I create cocktail, I always try to get something that is inspired by the classic cocktail, because I think that like the classic for a reason, and the cocktails that like everyone in the world love. But then instead of just replacing the spirit, the alcoholic spirit, by a non-alcoholic version of it, I kind of like to build the flavor that if you like a mojito, you will like this cocktail. So today we're going to be using an alternative to rum. So this is a company called Lyre's. It's an Australian company, and I love this company because they have a beautiful portfolio of non-alcoholic spirits that were inspired by the world favorite spirits, and are really a celebration of what they are. So this is the white cane spirit. So it's an inspiration to white rum. So you get a lot of like banana, vanilla, a little bit of citrus. It's really beautiful if you want to have a smell, and it's quite surprising how much it smells like rum.
If I didn't know, I'd think that was rum.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's amazing.
So you will really get this aroma and flavor of your classic rum without the alcohol. And then you were telling me that you love ginger.
I love ginger.
So we're going to be using ginger. This is actually a brand. I'm going to grab the bottle. This is a brand called Jimber. Organic Peruvian ginger, a little bit of lemon spices. So it's a really, really gingery and a lot of kick and a lot of flavor into it. And I like that because I feel like that sometimes ginger can be a bit not as like spicy as you wish, but this one really is. A little bit of fresh lime juice. And then this is the Belvoir. I don't know if you tried that one. This is the elderflower.
At home.
Amazing. Yeah. So this is the elderflower pressé. What I love with that brand is the fact that they grow the elderflowers on the farm. You were also mentioning that like very often when we talk about non-alcoholic cocktail, the worry is it's going to be too sweet, you know, like, because it's true that when you go to a bar, you don't really know how the cocktail is made, and sometimes it's a bit of a juices of like blend of like juices, and it ends up being a bit sweet. So I was quite mindful of not adding any sugar to it, and this is all natural. It has like 30% less sugar, and it's all like pure cane sugar. So we should make the drink.
So exciting.
Amazing. So you've got a beautiful, what we call a highball, and we're going to build the cocktail into the glass directly. We're actually going to put, normally what you would do with a cocktail is put ice all the way to the top if you're building it, and then kind of pour the ingredients over. But we are going to put a few mint leaves and pour the ingredients to infuse it together. So we're going to start with that. You can just pick a few mint leaves.
How minty do we go?
I think I'm going to go for 4. They're quite big as well, so I think 4 is a good number to start with.
Thank you.
I'm going to put that aside. And then our white cane spirit from Lyre's. I mean, I love the smell so much.
What was the name of these? I remember from last time these have a particular name, the pourers.
So this is a jigger. And that's what
I love that word. That's what I was remembering.
This is what you use to measure.
Okay, so up to the top?
So
up to the line?
So a little bit over. So those jiggers are amazing. They have all the different lines, so you have all the measurement. So this is 45, and this is 60, so just a little bit over. Perfect. Amazing.
And already.
But that's making cocktails. It's like cooking, you know. It doesn't have to be perfect. It has to be an experience and taste delicious at the end.
You can already smell it.
It smells like
so good.
Like rum so much. This is getting very tropical here. I love it. And then we're gonna add 20 ml of our beautiful ginger, so our beautiful Jimber. You're actually gonna use the smaller part of this, and go just a little over that second line.
Thank you.
Perfect. Smells amazing.
Yeah, it's that ginger kick.
I know, right? Wonderful. And then when it comes to citrus, I mean, it's the same when you cook. You always, especially with citrus, you always want to use fresh. It's packed with vitamin, and really like the flavor is so much better. And it's just easy. So you could even like do half of a lime and squeeze it directly into your glass, or use a hand juicer like this one. It depends on like if you like really sour, but I will put 20 ml of lime as well. And I'm gonna cut the second half.
So this is good practice for me, because especially when I'm cooking, I just kind of throw everything in. But there's a real science, so it's...
I mean, this is not the easiest pour that I'm giving you. Perfect.
Well, it's a perfect amount now that I've put half of it on the...
Yeah, that's why you did it.
Thank you.
So when it comes to cocktail, it's really important to measure. I know like people are always like, can I just like pour everything in the glass? And there's a balance, and there's a ratio to follow when you make cocktail. And there's actually a punch recipe and the rhyme to remember it, which is 1 sour, 2 sweet, 3 strong, 4 weak, and 5 spices. And that's just a great way to understand how to balance the sweetness, the sour, the strong, the weak, which will be like the juices and the water that you add into your cocktail. And that shows that like it's really important, that balance. But also I always say that like if you make a cocktail at home that tastes amazing, you kind of want to be able to make it again.
So true.
And if you just like, I'm just gonna add this and this and this and this, and then you have no clue what you put in the glass. Always measuring.
Yeah, the second one might not taste so good.
Yeah, you're like, oh, but that's just so different. And really like, I mean, even if we were adding, I don't know, double the amount of lime juice, for example, it will taste so different. And I mean, that fresh lime, this is already, for me, a mojito is like a sunny day on like on holiday. It's just so refreshing. So what we're gonna do now, because we have all the ingredients, we don't wanna add the elderflower pressé yet, because obviously it's bubbly, and we're just gonna top it up. So now we're just gonna add some ice into the cocktail. We're gonna add crushed ice. We've got this beautiful crushed ice here, but I'm actually gonna show you how to make it at home. So to make crushed ice, it's so simple. You just need a clean tea towel. Just place the ice cube in the center, wrap it in, and then using either a rolling pin or a pan, you're just gonna smash the ice and break it into small pieces. And that's it. This is your crushed ice. All right, so I'm gonna put ice into your glass. You wanna fill it probably 3/4. Perfect. And then in mine,
it's smelling like a holiday already.
I know, right? And so what you want to do is kind of like place your hand on the top of it, so the ice doesn't like come out of the glass. But you want this is called swizzle. You probably seen it with like a wooden stick, and people just go like this. You might have seen that in like your days when you were drinking loads of rum. The way that you can do it with a spoon is kind of like to do a circle, so there's a motion more like this. And that will blend the ingredients, that will cool down the cocktail, that will get the mint to release all the essential and to really get this like refreshing flavor into it. Just for a few seconds until the glass becomes a bit more like frosty and cold. And that's it. And then your turn.
There's a knack to it that I'm not going to have.
Perfect.
Is that right?
Yeah, you're doing it. And that's it. Wonderful. We're going to keep that. We're going to add now more ice all the way to the top, and then we will top it up with the elderflower pressé.
Thank you.
There you go. And then into mine. And now just a little bit of the elderflower pressé. And in mine,
to try it.
Just a splash on
amazing.
the top. You kind of want to give another little stir just so the ingredients are mixed together.
Thank you. Do it without making any more mess.
You've got this.
Okay.
And then what I like to do is to add just a little bit more ice on the top. Just so it's like this beautiful kind of ice dome on the top of it. A little more.
Thank you.
And then you really want to garnish it with mint. Trying to find the most beautiful one. And so you're gonna hold this, and I'm gonna find one for myself. And with mint, I think I showed you that the last time. So you wanna place it in your hands, and then you're gonna clap your hand, because if you smell the mint now, it smells like mint and it's beautiful, but wait for it. So you're gonna clap it, and then you can see how much stronger the aroma is. So really release all the essential oil. And then just find a little corner and just place it there. And then because it's crushed ice, you don't really want to drink it directly from the glass, otherwise like your nose is in Iceland and your palate is in a very beautiful tropical place. So we're using this like copper, so metal straws, so more sustainable. And this is your cocktail.
Amazing.
Should we have a taste?
Yeah. Cheers.
Oh, that's delicious.
It's so refreshing.
It is very, very refreshing.
There's so much flavour to it.
Yeah, and I like how, so it's really refreshing. The mint makes it, the aroma, the smell is incredible. You get the ginger at the beginning from Jimbo, so a little bit of like kick and spice, but then that kind of like wears off, and then you really get layers, the white cane spirit coming through really nicely.
It's amazing.
There's like beautiful like vanilla, banana notes, your classic like white alternative to white rum. Citrusy, refreshing with the crushed ice. This is my new favorite. I was about to say summer cocktail, but actually any time of the year when you feel like a little bit of sunshine.
Transporting us back right now.
Absolutely. Well, you were in the Caribbean not long ago, so it's like being back there. I wasn't there, but I feel like I'm there actually. So this cocktail is, I would love to call it the practice.
I love that.
To celebrate your amazing online studio and the practice that you're trying to share with people around the world.
Thank you.
I also think that like being a mindful drinker is a practice, and it's something that it's a conscious decision that you make every single day of bringing mindfulness into every aspect of your life. So this is the practice cocktail, and to celebrate it, Annie was incredibly generous and decided to say that if you share La Maison Wellness code on the practice website, you will get a free membership for 1 month. So go on her website, get La Maison Wellness code online, subscribe, get your free month membership, and let's practice together.
Thank you.
Santé, everyone.
Santé. So good.
This is delicious. Oh, yum.